Is this a government that was trying to hide things that, in my opinion, could have hurt our country and our process by hiding them in a bill?
So what C-5 was the Liberal bill that had kind of two parts to it. One was to talk about one Canadian economy. So in other words, free trade within Canada. The other part was about building national or major projects in Canada. So let me parse that out a little bit because we did close a lot of loopholes and make some amendments to legislation to make it much better, much more transparent, much more accountable. Ensure there were some guardrails that weren't in the original legislation as drafted, and I'll explain why that matters. So when they came forward with this bill C-5, the problem when it was originally drafted is it allowed the federal cabinet to circumvent any law on the books federally. So that's a whole lot of power. And are the decisions on these multi-billion-dollar projects going to be made behind closed doors? If you are a person with business interests or investment interests, are you a party to approving projects that your investment portfolios may benefit from? So there were clearly some significant problems with that. And so we, together with opposition colleagues, were able to insert amendments that said, okay, look, here's 15 different pieces of legislation plus that you can't circumvent, including the Lobbying Act and the ethics legislation and the various pieces of transparency legislation, the criminal code, the Conflict of Interest Act, et cetera, et cetera. So that there was that safeguard and those guardrails, and also that the project that's being proposed to be approved needs to come to Parliament for review, and the consultation process needs to be reported upon, and the criteria for that needs to be presented to Parliament. And so there's at least some oversight as to what that is. And it's not just a decision made like behind closed doors and not this blank check. So yes, we are the party of building. We want to see this building happen. We agreed with the legislation. We made some amendments so that it had some safeguards for transparency, accountability, and frankly, actually getting some stuff done. But we still say, if you would actually get rid of the things that are stopping and holding Canada's economy back, we'd be further ahead. So we made some progress, but not enough in our view. And so now we'll see, where does that go?